Welcome to the Black Herstory channel, where Black Herstory is every day. Today, I want to discuss with you what it means to be a virtuous woman. Now, in the actual Bible, Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31, it actually outlines the qualities and attributes and characteristics of a virtuous woman. So I wanted to go through that today. It serves as a reminder of who we are, who you can be, and it's something really beautiful to kind of have in your mind as you go about your day. So here we are. Proverbs 31, verse 10 through 31 from the NIV. Verse 10. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So right here, what I'm seeing is worth more far than rubies. She's priceless. She has such a intrinsic value that there's not a number that can be attained in order to make her compromise her morals or values. She's beyond the worth of rubies. And we know that's a precious stone. It's worth so much. She's worth more. Her husband has full confidence in her. She's someone that can speak on his behalf when he's not even around. And I also take that to mean that even if she doesn't necessarily have a husband, that he's the type of woman that she's the type of woman that would attract a man that says, you know what, I have confidence that she'll do things on my behalf to my liking and beyond. She will compliment me in such a way that I don't have to think twice about what she might say in any given circumstance or situation. And yes, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Self-explanatory. So she's coming from things that she may say is well intended. It comes from a good place, even when it has to be maybe a little uncomfortable. It's still coming from a good place. Verse 13. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it's still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. So, of course, this is from the Bible, and I stopped at verse 15. And so some of this is speaking from that time period, a few thousand years back. And so certain things may or may not apply, of course, depending on your region. Maybe there's still people out here on merchant ships. I don't know. But basically what it says is she selects wool and flax and works eager with her hands. So she's good at choosing the quality things that there are to select from. In modern times, that may be from the supermarket or choosing out the right garments to wear. So she's very intentional with her eye, very selective, bringing food from afar. So she is willing to go out and get the things that her family needs in order to provide sustenance. She gets up while it's still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girls. Basically, that means she's willing to help a sister out. That's basically what that means. She's willing to, extend herself in such a way that it's still helpful for other people. Verse 16, she considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms for the poor and extends her hands to the needy. And that's stopping at verse 20. So basically, what that says is that she's setting out her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. This virtuous woman is ensuring that she has what she needs. She's conditioned her mind She's conditioned her body in order to be effective at the work that she knows she has to do. Her lamp does not go out at night, so she's willing to burn the midnight oil, so to speak, in order to accomplish the goals, for the greater good. And she opens her arms to the poor, extends her hands to the needy. Again, also self-explanatory, but really speaking to the heart of her character, that she's willing to, again, help someone in need, extend herself and help someone in need. Verse 21, when it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. So that's ending at verse 23. Again, she's very discerning when it comes to the clothes that she wears, the clothes for her household, as well as the people in her household, but also she makes coverings for her bed and is clothed in fine linen and purple. She's basically saying she cares about the decor of her home. She keeps a nice, beautiful home. You walk in and you can tell that this is someone who cares about her environment. So it's not just when I walk out, you see me, but everything is looking like a little questionable at home. No, when you walk into my home, you're going to feel the same energy and air and beauty, and intent as well in my home. You're going to feel that same environment. And I love this here. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. I think this also really speaks to, again, her discerning spirit. So whether or not she actually has this husband or she's trying to attract this husband, she understands that the type of man that compliments her is a man that's respected by his peers, a man that someone is mature, a man that people look up to, a man that not only respects himself, but also will respect her and what they're trying to grow and build. And I think that's beautiful. Verse 24, she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. That's ending at verse 26. This again is just showing the complexity of her personality, of her overall being. If she's clothed in strength and dignity, but she can also laugh at the days to come. So she's resilient, but doesn't necessarily take herself so seriously. She's able to be flexible and find humor in the tough moments. I mean, if these last 2 years, post-pandemic, tells us anything, we can make our plans all we want, but we have to be flexible. And sometimes there's certain things you intend to go a certain way, but sometimes you have to sit back and just laugh like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but you know what? I can regroup. I can move forward with strength and dignity. And I love this. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction on her tongue. So she's speaking life and power into people wherever she comes in contact with them. She's the kind of woman who I imagine, you want to give a call to, you want to reach out to when you're feeling a little off center, and you want to just have somebody kind of just, even if you don't say directly what the issue is, she might just have an encouraging word to kind of get you back on track, remind you who you are, to kind of get you focused back into your center. She sounds like an amazing woman to aspire to be. Verse 27. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Verse 31, give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. That concludes Proverbs, verse 31. Proverbs 31 verses 10 through 31. And may Yah bless the reading of his word. So that last bit really speaks to her being intentional with her time. I love that it says she does not eat the bread of idleness. That's a beautiful way of basically just saying she's not mindlessly engaging in activities that aren't productive. I mean, I know me personally, and so many of us spend so much time on social media, and next thing you know, you look up, you just went to go click on something, and then you look up, it's been like 45 minutes, 90 minutes gone. And so it, of course, these things are designed to keep our attention and keep us engaged and all of that. But at a certain point, it definitely becomes a distraction. And so just something to keep a reminder of, how are you spending your time? How are we spending our time? Is it idle? Is it productive? The children call her blessed. Her husband also. I love that. And so she's respected in her home. And people know their place because she's so secure in hers. So a lot of times when we try to get into, certain partnerships, there's these expectations that on these men are supposed to do this, women are supposed to do that. And while that is true, people get really frustrated when they feel like, you're supposed to be doing these things. But if you're already walking in this and working in it, it's going to be hard for someone to not find their role because you only allow for them to be in that role because you're taking care of the things that you're supposed to be taking care of. Right? So the children are going to know their place and the husband will know his because you're holding down your spot so tightly, so consistently. They're going to know exactly what it is you do and where it is you stand within that family dynamic. And then I love this. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. So, of course, charm, it's very enticing, but it can be definitely manipulative, right? To a certain extent, if it's used by people with the wrong intent, but it's very attractive, right? But beauty, and it says, and beauty is fleeting, and we know this, right? So it's not even so much thinking of it as, over time. Beauty is fleeting from decades to decades. Look, it could be from the morning to the evening, depending on what kind of day you had in the afternoon. the way you got yourself together in the morning may not be the same 12 hours later. So, truly beauty can be fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And I think that is absolutely beautiful because it just really speaks to her heart once again, her characteristic. If she has a thirst, a yearning for Yah, for the Lord, that will shine through all of the other things. And I think that is wonderful how it is really highlighted in that way. So this is what I came to discuss, to talk about. I think it is beautiful, understanding the virtuous woman. And I want us to be inspired. I know I certainly am inspired that this was written thousands of years ago and it still applies today. Something to constantly keep in the back of our mind, who we can be, who we can aspire to be. And I think that is beautiful. And especially in modern times, there's a lot of encouragement for individuality, and it is beautiful, but it is very easy to be led astray into what is acceptable. And just because things are accepted doesn't necessarily mean they're righteous and they should be encouraged or exalted. So taking things back from this scripture, this reading, would really help to kind of focus our moral compass and have something to aspire to, and really have other young ladies and women in general kind of wanting to emulate, right? Because there's a lot, again, just because things are accepted doesn't necessarily mean they should be exalted. And there's a lot of beauty in having a virtuous spirit, a virtuous soul, and exuding a lot of these characteristics can really help bring back a lot of the positive qualities of our community. And so this is just a thought. Let me know your thoughts down below. in the comment section. Do you feel like this is antiquated, or is it relevant? Is it still relevant? Is it antiquated? Let me know what you think. But definitely enjoy this, just ingest it, and share if you'd like. And again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Black Herstory channel. So, and remember, thou art rich, and we will always uplift you, sis, here at the Black Herstory channel.